Pasditën e së mërkurës në Ambasadën Shqiptare në Londer, Presidenti i Republikës së Shqipërisë, zoti Ilir vlerësoi Lord Gjergj Robertson me dekoratën e lartë Gjergj Kastrioti Skënderbeu, me motivacionin në mirënjohje të thellë për angazhimin e çmuar në forcimin e marrëdhënieve ndërmjet Republikës së Shqipërisë dhe Mbretërisë së Bashkuar, si dhe për kontributin e spikatur në integrimin e Shqipërisë në Aleancën Transatlantike.
Good evening to all distinguished participants, dear Lord Robertson, dear friends of Lord Robertson and also of the Albanian Embassy, distinguished guests, as we are gathered here today to honor a very special friend, the Honorable Lord Gjergj Robertson, I want to express my great pleasure to be here in this moment that reunites me with one of the most prominent protagonists of the international politics of his time. Lord Robertson's name is engraved in the collective memory of all Albanians for his role during a very difficult and challenging time for our nation, as indeed the beginning of this century turned to be for all the Balkans in general. In his capacities as Secretary of Defense of the United Kingdom and also as the NATO Secretary General, the Honorable Lord has played a pivotal role, especially in Kosovo, helping to end the Milosevic-led genocide and ethnic cleansing. His determination to put an end to the conflict ensured that the Northern Atlantic Alliance did not draw back until the restoration of peace in all Balkans. As such, Lord Robertson has made tremendous efforts for the stability and security in the region, and also in a region which often was troubled by conflicts and tensions. I would like to underline his crucial role also for restoring of peace in Macedonia, Northern Macedonia today, Macedonia of the time, which concluded with Ohrid agreement in August 2001, but also I want to express our gratitude also for his recent efforts to support the PRESPA agreement, which is one of the most historic achievements of our region, and also which is paving the way for Northern Macedonia to become NATO member soon. I have had the honor and privilege of working with Lord Robertson in the capacity of the Prime Minister of Albania, and later as the Foreign Minister, laying thus the foundations of Albania's progress towards NATO membership, and also its European integration process. Almost 2 decades later, Albania has made giant strides ahead, with its a NATO member for over 10 years now. At the same time, Lord Robertson's continuous commitment for an all-inclusive and cooperating region that unceasingly strives towards the European Union has been a great support for Albania. Furthermore, his commitment to our country has helped to further strengthen the relationship between Albania and the United Kingdom. Thus, I take this opportunity to once again express our profound gratitude to you, Lord Gjergj Robertson, for your never-ending support for the region and indeed for Albanians in general in their endeavor towards freedom, NATO, but also the European Union. In an interesting coincidence, our national hero, Gjergj Skënderbeu, is called George as well. And just as he served as a shield to Europe from the Ottoman Empire, so did Lord Gjergj Robertson, shielding the Albanians from injustice, genocide, and ethnic cleansing 20 years ago. Because of your enlargement NATO policy 2 decades ago, our region is safer and part of NATO today, and we still rely on your wisdom and support as we consider you a very precious friend also in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The President of the Republic of Albania, His Excellency, Mr. Ilir Meta. Awards to Lord Gjergj Robertson of Port Ellen, the Medal of George Kastrioti Skënderbeu, in deep gratitude for the precious engagement in strengthening the relationship between the Republic of Albania and United Kingdom, as well as for his prominent contribution provided to the integration of Albania in transatlantic alliance.
Well, Mr. President, ambassadors, and friends, it's a great pleasure to be here this evening and to be honored in this way by your country. You and I have known each other for these 20 years, and we've progressed. You're still there. I'm among the people who now say, do you know who I used to be? But you're still the President of Albania. But this is a great honor. I've looked at the previous recipients of this medal, and I count myself very privileged to be among that group. Colin Powell was one of those who received it, and he's been a friend and also a great hero of mine as well. I'm here tonight with my family, my brother and sister-in-law, my personal assistant, but I also have with me the Kosovo team from 20 years ago, my media commander, my special advisor, my private secretary, the people who were involved at the time. 20 years ago it was, as you say, in April 1999, and it was a moment of some apprehension. The first time our country had been engaged in a conflict since the Second World War without a UN Security Council resolution. But we knew what we had to do. The Kosovo Albanian population was being threatened. We knew, though the outside world was not so aware of it at the time. And action had to be taken. And a generation of politicians in Britain and France and in Germany, as well as in America, who had never been tested before, were being tested at that time. And we set out to do something at that time which led to success. We laid out the ambition of the operation then. The phrase has now gained me a place in the Oxford Book of Political Quotations. We said, Serbs out, NATO in, refugees home. And there's not many conflicts where you can say we achieved all three parts of the mission statement as well. However, Mr. President, I don't know whether you know or whether other people know in here, but my brother and I found out through a DNA test our antecedents.
I know. But I avoid it from my speech. Because I want to be...
Your DNA testing has now become very fashionable. And in America, brothers and sisters find out that they were not related. People find out that what they thought was their father was not their father. These are things happening. But we found out that on our mother's side of the family, we come from Ashkenazi Jews in the Levant. But on our father's line, the line goes back to Albanians in Greece as well. When I announced that in Pristina, there was great applause. But I noticed that in one of the news agencies in Belgrade, they picked this up. But luckily at the end it said, Mr. Robertson did not know this during the war. So there we are. We have this common lineage going right back to Alexander the Great and all of the people in that region as well. In many ways, it's scarcely believable that the Albania that we visited at that time, coming out of communism, coming out of a closed economy, a closed country, nobody in, nobody out, would now be an integrated member of NATO and on the brink of EU membership. And that is really quite a journey to take place. Those of us who were around in politics even before Albania became free remember the image that the country had, what we were allowed to have of the country. And I treasure the quotation by the dictator of Albania, who once said, "Do not forget that together with China, Albanians make up a quarter of the world's population." So, tells you something about British politics today as well, to do with that. But you know, the impossible became the inevitable, and Albania was free and is making serious progress towards to EU membership. Members of the European Parliament recently visited your country, no doubt visited you as well, and I read their report where they said that your country has delivered hard reforms under hard circumstances. But it also said, don't waste time. Focus on judicial, rule of law and public administration reforms. And as I know from the countries that I encouraged to join NATO when I was there, when the big enlargement took place, these are the qualifications that are going to be required. And it's hard work to do. I praise you for the progress that has been made up to now. And the World Bank, in its recent report, reporting on Albania, said that in the early 1990s, Albania was the poorest country in Europe. And now Albania is now among the middle-income nations in Europe. That is formidable progress for a small country to make in very difficult times for the economy as well. So you've made mighty steps forward. I remember going during the Kosovo conflict to Albania. I took a delegation, an all-party delegation, because we were representing not just the Labour government, we were representing the Parliament of the United Kingdom and the people of the United Kingdom. So I took the Shadow Foreign Secretary, Mr. Michael Howard, who had been the Home Secretary in the previous Conservative government, the leader of the Liberal Party, the chairman of the House of Commons Select Committee, and that all-party delegation. And we went to Albania. We visited and saw there. We went up to the refugee camps in Kukës, up in the mountains. Now on the highway that goes through the mountains straight into Kosovo today, and I don't think we would have imagined that at all. And I think that was a tribute, that refugee camp and the other hundreds of thousands of Kosovars that you took in and gave hospitality to during that time was a humanitarian effort for which you should be long congratulated as well. And you and I, if you remember, flew in a helicopter from Tirana down to Durrës, I think, on the coast. Your country didn't look the prettiest of countries at that time, if you remember. It was not long after the 1997 debacle with the pyramid scheme, and the Hodja's little pillboxes littered it. And I said, do you really want to be Prime Minister of this country? But you said, I do, I certainly do. And you were, and a great success. And it's a delight now to see you as the President of the country making such progress. And I thank you for the honour that you've done to me by giving me this precious medal and the honour that it represented. And I wish you and Albania the very best for the future.
Thank you very much.
The President of the Republic and a high personality like Lord Robertson, because it's never enough to say, I don't want to repeat what the Excellency say, but it's never enough to express our thanks and gratitude for you personally did, from what NATO did for Albania, for Kosovo, and for the Western Balkans. And if you have peace and stability in the Western Balkans, we always will remember the special contribution of yours. So thank you very much again, and grateful forever.
Në një intervistë ekskluzive për Alb Uk Tv, Presidenti i Republikës së Shqipërisë, zoti Ilir u shpreh. I nderuar zoti President, faleminderit për intervistën për Alb Uk Tv. Cili është qëllimi i vizitës tuaj këtu në Mbretërinë e Bashkuar, pikërisht në Angli?
Është një kënaqësi e veçantë që të jem sot në Londer dhe ikosisht ti akordoja Lordit Gjergj Robertson, i sekretari përgjithshëm i NATO-s dhe ikosisht sekretari mbrojtjes së Britanisë së Madhe në momentin kur ky vend dhe NATO u angazhua për t'i dhënë fund genocidit Miloševićit në Kosovë, pra për t'i dhënë atij dekoratën mjaft lartë Gjergj Kastrioti Skënderbeu, në minjoje për këtë kontribut të çmuar që ai dha për lirin, jo vetëm të shqiptarëve të Kosovës, por edhe për forcimin e paqes edhe të sigurisë në rajonin ton, dhe ikosisht për gjithë ato gjurmë të forta që ai la në Ballkan edhe gjatë periudhës kur ishte sekretari përgjithshëm i NATO-s, jo vetëm duke kontribuar për marrëveshjen e Ohrit dhe zgjidhjen e konfliktit në Maqedoni, i cili përmes marrëveshjes së Ohrit jo vetëm vendosi paqen, por edhe hapi rrugën për plotësimin e drejtave të shqiptarëve, ashtu edhe për vetë politikën e zgjerimit të NATO-s dhe në mënyrë të veçantë për integrimin e Shqiperisë në këtë aleancë. Dhe sigurisht që ky ishte një rast shumë i mirë për të kujtuar miq të tillë, të cilët në momentet më kyçe dhe më historike dhanë një kontribut të paharrueshëm, të pazëvendësueshëm dhe ikosisht vazhdojnë edhe sot e kësaj dite të kontribuojnë për marrëdhëniet tona dhe për forcimin e tyre të mëtejshëm. Natyrisht, gjatë kësaj vizite në Londer, do të kemi edhe disa takime me përfaqësues të lartë të qeverisë britanike, apo edhe të parlamentit, dhomës lordëve, në vijim të bashkëpunimit tonë shumë të mirë me Britaninë e Madhe si një partnere mjaft të fuqishme që është edhe që do të jetë Shqiperisë, po ikosisht edhe një kontribuese pazëvendësueshme për paqen edhe për sigurinë në Ballkan.
Faleminderit zoti President. Në lidhje me diasporën, ka vetëm pak ditë që ka kryer samiti i dytë i diasporës. Cila do të jetë mbështetja që shteti shqiptar do të realizojë për diasporën në përgjithësi dhe kryesisht për diasporën këtu në Mbretërinë e Bashkuar?
Ishte kënaqësi të takoja shumë përfaqësues diasporës së fundmi edhe në Lezhë, edhe në Tiranë, dhe besoj se ky dialog që është vendosur midis institucioneve tona dhe diasporës tonë është mjaft i dobishëm edhe në përmirësim të vazhdueshëm, një kontribut për forcimin e lidhjeve të diasporës me vendin, por edhe të kujdesit më të madh të vendit dhe të shtetit ndaj qytetarëve tanë, kudo ku ata jetojnë, me qëllim përmirësimin e kushteve të tyre, të garantimit drejtave të tyre, po sidomos edhe të mbështetjes për të ruajtur të gjitha ato elementet kyçe të identitetit tonë kombëtar, për të ruajtur gjuhën, për të ruajtur kulturën tonë, e në këtë drejtim unë besoj se komiteti ynë këtu në Britaninë e Madhe do të jetë një shembull i shkëlqyer i këtij raporti të shtetit me diasporën.
Faleminderit i nderuar. 7-8 marsi
ju zë pikërisht në Angli, cili do të jetë urimi për gjithë mësuesit shqiptar, për gjithë nënat shqiptare, kudo që na ndjekin nëpërmjet ekranit të Alb Uk TV, televizioni i parë dhe vetëm në Mbretërinë e Bashkuar dhe televizioni më i madh i diasporës. Një urim nëpërmjet ekranit ton për gjithë teleshikuesit kudo që na ndjekin, të lutem.
Nanat edhe mësuesit janë gjërat më të shtrenjta për të gjithë fëmijët, po pse jo edhe për njerëzimin, sepse edukojnë dhe sepse investojnë për një të ardhme më të mirë, me njohurinë e tyre, me kujdesin e tyre, me dhëmshmërinë e tyre, me përgjegjësinë e tyre. Ndaj çdo falënderim, çdo mirënjohje është e pakët, edhe le të urojmë gëzime të gjithë nënave, të gjitha mësuesve dhe në këtë mënyrë le të punojmë të gjithë për të patur një shoqëri më harmonike, më familjare, që qëndron fort në ato vlerat të forta të familjes shqiptare, edhe natyrisht edhe të ruajmë fort dhe të pastër gjuhën tonë, por edhe traditat tona që na veçojnë atjerë dhe që na bëjnë krenar.
Faleminderit shumë i nderuar.
Për presidentin e nderit të Alb Uk TV, Lord Gjergj Robertson veçoi.
Lord Robertson, thank you so much for talking to Alb UK Television. Can you tell me, how does it feel to get such an honour like you have tonight?
I think when you've got a history like mine in the region, this is very special because Albania and the Albanians were very close to what I was doing at that time and have remained very much in my mind ever since then as well. So to get the highest honour of the Republic of Albania from the President, who I've known for such a long time, was a very special privilege.
What are your main memories of that period in your life?
Well, my memories are clouded inevitably by the conflict that we had with Kosovo and with Milosevic. I was a new Secretary of State for Defence. We'd done a defence review, and here we were pitched into a battle without a Security Council resolution. But my generation, Robin Cook and myself in the UK with Tony Blair, you know, with the French and the German ministers, we were all student sort of activists. We campaigned against the Vietnam War along with Bill Clinton and others, and here we were involved in a conflict to save people's lives. We knew what had to be done. It was the right war at the right time in the right place, and we knew that we had to act.
Do you see the changes in Albania and Kosovo now? Are you pleased to see the types of things that you caused in a lot of ways to happen is now really sort of creating a modern Kosovo, a modern Albania?
The Western Balkans has changed out of all recognition to what I remember. And, you know, in the initial stages of Albania, coming out of communism, coming out of the riots of 1997, you know, that was a mess. It was indeed a mess politically, industrially, and even visually as well. And now look at it, you know, the economy is roaring ahead. The European Union, with its MEPs, say that it's made the reforms, it's a member of NATO. You know, this is quite remarkable. You know, the impossible became the inevitable, and that, you know, that little phrase means everything in Albania today.
Lord Robertson, thank you so much for your time tonight, and well done for receiving such a great honour.
Pleasure to have it. Thank you.